Hello pilots and welcome back to Flying with Overkill F-18C Hornet, and today we're going to be taking a look at the AGM-62 Walleye air-to-ground bomb. Now it is a precision-guided bomb with a little bit more options than your average everyday weapon. However, the thing to remember right off the bat about the Walleye is it is unpowered. It is important to remember that, as any steering correction that you make to it is going to drastically slow the missile, or I should say the bomb, down, and you're going to start losing your inertia. Once you lose your inertia, the bomb's going to, just like with an aircraft, the bomb's going to fall out of the sky and you're going to miss your target. Okay, so we're first going to do a drop without the use of the data link pod, so we won't be able to steer it. And then on the second drop, we'll actually use the data link and guide it down a little bit. All right, so first let's go ahead and set up. I'm going to be using waypoints and the targeting pod to sort of designate our target area. So first thing I'm going to do is put us into air-to-ground mode. Actually, we don't need the laser guidance. I just thought about that, so we're good there. Bring up our FLIR, put it into black hot, and weapon designate with the waypoint. Make it my sensor of interest. Oh, there we go. And let's see what we got. We're going to grab one of these ammunition depots here. Knock it off. Okay. Go ahead and zoom in a bit. Alright, it's right on there. Good. Now, we have our target identified, and you can do this with or without the use of the targeting pod. It just makes it easier to get it in the general area. Now we're going to select our walleye, and then we're going to select it again to bring up the crosshair. Now you can see it's currently caged. What I'm going to do is hit my sensor select left to make this my sensor of interest, and I'm going to hit my cage uncage button. Now you can see this solid green square. All this is showing us the camera angle offset compared to bore sight. So bore sight is as if it were looking straight out the aircraft while it's on the bird. Okay, so the camera's just this is showing you how far the camera's having to point down to see the target. Now, even with this as my sensor of interest, I can't move the slew around. Okay, and actually we need to pick a different target. I just saw that. So let's come over here and grab this guy. There we go. And the other thing is as we're using the T-pod, notice that the walleye camera is also moving. Okay, so it's actually a pretty neat way to find your target. But once you're all set, what you want to do is come over to the walleye. Okay, and what we're looking for is a couple different things. So I'm going to pause for a second. If we were not in range, we would see TTMR with the countdown to the left of it. So TTMR is time to maximum range. Okay, and then it would have a countdown all the way up to 99. If it shows 99 TTMR, that means you are plus 99 seconds out from being in maximum range. Once it drops below 99, you'll start seeing that counter come down. Alright, so now what I'm going to do in order to be able to slew this thing here is I'm going to undesignate my target. And then now I can move the slew around, and we're on the wrong one. There we go, that's close enough. And pickle. You guys can see that the walleye was no longer crossed out, meaning that the bomb was ready for release. So let's go ahead and follow it in. And boom, there's another one gone. Alright, so the other thing to pay attention to with the wall is you do have instant and delay fusing. Okay, so delay is used for penetration. You want it to punch through the top of something and then explode. That's when you would use delay. So actually delay would have been ideal for that last drop as we were punching through a hardened ammunition depot. So I'm going to go ahead and come around again and show you guys how to use it with the data link. Alright pilots, so we are back on the approach here. I've got my TGP set up to our target area. We're going to find a different target this time. Oh yeah, let's do one of those B-52s right there. Get a target designate on it. And actually what I'm going to do is go a little bit beforehand, so we have to make some corrections. Okay, so let's just do like that. And then what I'm going to do is come over to our stores page, select the walleye, select the data link. Now, you have your instant and delay options. We're going to use instant for the fusing. You can select the aft antenna if you pass over the target area and need to control the bomb. And the data link starts going real staticky. You would switch it to the aft antenna after you pass it. And then the weapon, you can select which walleye station. This is going to be station 2, this is station 8, and they are the only stations that can hold the walleye. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go back here Cycle the data link pod. There we go. Now, oops, sorry about that. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you guys something that has actually gone south here already. But I want to show you guys how to fix it in case you ever do it. Again, all the tutorials that I see, they always show everything working perfectly. I don't want you guys to see everything working perfectly. I want you to see things going crappy and south. So I'm going to make this my sensor of interest. I'm going to then uncage the weapon. And I've seen it do this before. Let's go back to the TGP. Let's go back here, uncage again, and it's still going to do it. So I'm going to go back up here. I don't know why it does this. So I'm going to go back to my TGP. I'm going to hit my target designate. I'm going to come back over here, hit my cage, uncage. There it goes. And now we can use our data link down here on the MPCD. Alright, so we're 9 seconds to maximum range. Now real quick, let me show you what's about to happen. Okay, because I'm going to do this really quickly, that way I can get control of the weapon. The bomb that's about to be released is on Station 8. The data link pod that we're currently looking through is on Channel 2. Okay, you need to associate channel with station. Okay, so it's looking at the wrong bomb. Okay, so what we're going to have to do is change that after the bomb has been released. So you're going to have to follow me real carefully. And the biggest reason why is because we did not select one of these. Okay, we skipped a step. Alright, so let me show you what happens as this goes through. So we're going to drop the bomb. We've lost our picture. I'm just going to select the walleye that's still on board. Now we're going to come up here to UFC. We're going to box channel, hit 8 and hit enter, and now I've got my picture back. Okay, the reason why Station 2 was the only walleye showing there is because the other ones were released. Okay, so if we even go to walleye here, it's still there. But what it does is set the data link to talk to the walleye, and then we choose, then we can go into the UFC and change which walleye we're talking to. But you must do this process first. Now, if you had done that from the start, these two would have already matched. The station and the channel would have already been correct. Okay, it does it automatically when you do it like that. So, but just in case you ever skip a step and you find that after you drop the bomb you lose the picture, that's why, and hopefully that will help you figure out what to do. So now let's go ahead and watch here. I'm actually going to cycle my data link. Oops. And I just screwed it up right there at the end. Not good. There we go. And that way I can select my aft antenna if I need it. Alright, so you can see that we're dropping a little low. So I'm very lightly going to start bringing the bomb up. I'm just barely touching that. And let's see if we actually got it. And every time you move that camera, you need to make sure that you're hitting your target lock. Yeah, so it looked like the bomb dropped just past the plane. That's what I mean. So it loses a ton of energy. It loses it very quick. And I also wasn't hitting the target lock fast enough. Okay, so you need to move the camera and then do the target lock. And I'll show you how to do that correctly on the next pass. Okay, so I'm going to go reset up, and then I'll see you guys in a second. All right, so we're back on approach again. This time I'm going to show you how things should have gone. So we're going to go walleye here. We're going to activate the data link. We're going to come here to the weapon, and I have both stores on board again. And this time I'm going to actually select Station 2, okay? And you can see we're on Channel 2 and Station 2, okay? And the problem is that I actually need to come to the stores page and change my station. And now we got it right, okay? So the weapon in here tells you what channel to be on. To select the missile, you need to come to the stores page or to the walleye page and step through. Okay? Alright, so we've got that selected correctly. Just go ahead and box that we want instant. Everything else is set. Now we're just going to make it our sensor of interest, uncage it, target's on, and we're about 60 seconds from drop. So I'm going to go ahead and accelerate time a little bit. Okay, and let's go ahead and bring it down to the AMPCD. Alright, and so I'm going to go ahead and pickle the bomb. And we can see our bomber there. I'm very gently slewing the camera, and I'm holding the target depressed while I move it, and then let go when I get it where I want. And this time we see a dead bomber. Alright, so those are the long and shorts of using the walleye. The biggest things to remember is that if you drop the bomb and the data link and station selected don't match, you can change it. Just make sure you select walleye in the data link. Make sure you come down here to weapon. Now, if remember in that scenario, there's only going to be one selected, but that's fine. You just select it and then change your channel to the correct station that was actually released, and you'll get your picture. Okay. And then be very gentle with your controls. Make sure you hold down your target depress button if you have to move it to try to get the walleye to relock on its target. Your delay and your instant fusing. Delay is for use for penetration, ammunition depots, factories, things like that. Something where you want it to punch through the roof, or hardened hangar. Something where you want it to punch through and then detonate inside. But really there isn't much to it. I still recommend the slam over it, but it's a lot of fun to use. It's a fun little weapon. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. This will be the last of the air-to-ground tutorials as of planned for the F-18C Hornet until anything new comes out or there's something that requires me to do an update. I hope you guys are enjoying these so far, and I will catch you guys in the next one where we begin our journey into the world of air-to-air combat. Catch you guys soon.